Ahoy, you salty sailors. Time to raise anchor and set sail for your best scrawny life. Arrgh. Well, here we are again. This is 4 feet on the NOAA Cedar Rapids gauge, which is the gauge immediately upstream from Palisades-Kepler Park in the city of Cedar Rapids. That is the website water.weather.gov. So we started out on the north side of the river. There was a decent run of white bass. Got several of those just right around the dam. Just fly fishing in this video, but in the next video we'll get back to plants and mushrooms. There'll be cooking, a geology segment, and a little fishing. So it'll be a fully ADHD compatible video of the next one. And a few smallmouth were out there too. It was lightly raining most of the day, so there weren't that many people. I was able to catch quite a few smallmouth and white bass on the north side. I thought there was that spot's kind of hard to wade to. I thought there was a whole school there. But it turned out to just be one white bass. That was about the biggest that I got, so nothing too large there. I had to wait in between periods of rain to be able to fly the drone. So I paddled over to the other side of the river and went right up to the dam itself. After checking out a few caves. Had a decent little longnose there. Not a huge one, but always an interesting fish. Above the actual dam, there's this little pool. There's kind of a metal structure that lets some water through. And there's a little pool that has like a little foam line. Tossed the fly in there, and a good-sized drum actually came up off the bottom and ate it just like a bass. We were off to a good start there on the other side of the river. Those are a good eating fish. If you cut from that hump in the back down to the anal fin, and fillet back towards the tail from that line, you won't get any of the pin bones, and you can get a boneless fillet off it. They're pretty good. Then I was trying for some gar, and while I did, I saw a big black tail come up of a buffalo that was tailing. I'm not entirely certain if that's a black buffalo or just a really dark smallmouth, but it was tailing along the rocks close to shore. Now, I figured it would spook. I mean, I had that pike fly, the one with that plumber's epoxy head, dropped that next to it. Lo and behold, it ate it. But I think what happened, if you see that it's just the stinger, that little treble hook that's on that fast attach clip, only that is in the mouth. So I think, because that fly is mostly black, I think it nosed down and got between some rocks on the bottom. And I don't think the fish even saw that part of the fly. I think it just saw the red, that stinger hook with that little red, that's dressed with that little red feather. It probably thought it was some kind of worm or something and just sucked that in. And so it just shows you that it pays to try, even if you think the fish will just spook away. Now here's a gar that's partly melanistic. Fish that are stocked and raised in a hatchery tend to come from a small number of brood stocks, and they tend to look the same. Whereas gar have been wild, and their wild population extends all the way back to the end of the Ice Age. So there's a larger variety of colors. There's a fully black melanistic gar. There can be white and yellow versions as well. There's all kinds of different spot patterns. There's a metallic blue color variation. You see that in the red rock population sometimes. This one has kind of a bronze look to it, and it was partly melanistic, so a really interesting fish. Another little longnose here. There was a big carp feeding right along the edge of that metal structure. I changed flies to a little crayfish pattern and tossed that in there. And eventually I did hook it. And the fish in this right now is actually trying to swim upstream into that heavy current with very large carp. And I was afraid, he seemed like maybe he was going to rub the line on that metal structure. Either that, or if he had gone downstream over the dam, he would have just spooled me and taken off with all my line. So I pulled as hard as I could, and the hook tore out. But a very powerful fish. A very powerful fish, no doubt. That gar there, I think, was fully melanistic. I saw it in the water and it looked jet black, but didn't manage to land it. Right below the dam. Biggest smallmouth of the day, right in kind of slack water corner, right next to the dam itself, part of the dam. So as I was flying the drone, I'd flown upstream from the dam by the bluffs that are upstream. And as I came back, I kind of went over to the bluffs on the other side of the river. And something unexpected began to happen. The swallows that nest along the bluffs began to follow the drone and fly all around it. I don't think this was really a defense. I don't think they're really defending their nest. This is probably just some sort of a play response. Because I mean, I'm still over the middle of the river. I'm not really that close to the bluffs. But they were following it. I didn't have the presence of mind there was a large group of swallows just following the drone. If I'd had the presence of mind, I would have turned the drone around and flown backwards. And still would have been able to film the whole group, because there's a group of them just following the drone as they're going down the river. So they definitely are aerial acrobats. Here as I turned the drone around, you can kind of see the group that was behind it. I just sat there after I got back from the other side of the river. I was pretty worn out, and so I just sat there on the beach, probably for half an hour or more, just waiting for the rain to stop. And but that turned out to be worth it.